Of all the comparisons you could have compared Hop Up to, you said Eric Cartman. Eric
I was gonna say
fucking
MJF,
Cartman.
but
Did we really need an episode where Marcy is hanging out with an emo frog? No, we did not. Did we need a fucking episode where they have a battle of band bullshit?
do you know what they did? They slowly gave us information that the Coven system is part of his master plan. So the big reveal of season 1 is that this guy is basically fucking Witch Hitler. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Hellfire podcast, the only podcast where the people's opinions actually matter. And today we're going to be discussing the second season of Amphibia, looking at its highlights, looking at its lowlight, and just seeing how it looks compared to the first season. So I don't know if you guys want to start by mentioning any points or like an episode.
I have one.
All right. I'll
So-
let you lead the charge.
Alright, so one of the things I was disappointed about season 2 is Frobo. Frobo was this like character that was introduced in like the first episode of season 2. First, you'd think that maybe they will do something cool with this guy, because they would show each episode that he was tracking down the planters. Like he was a robot, was tracking down the planters. You would think that they would, I don't know, like do something cool with him. But instead, you just get like one episode where he was like the main focus, bonding with Polly or some shit. Then next episode, he's just shoved in the background. He's doesn't have any screen time. We don't don't learn anything about him at all. And then we get to the final episode of season 2, which is the worst episode in the season, by the way. Fuck you. And they kill him off. And they expect you to care or have some kind of emotional reaction to it. Like, dog, I don't know who the fuck this man is. He just shows up and just dies.
Exactly.
What the hell?
I noticed when I was like going over the episodes, and they had this assembly line like they went to, and it was like there's this robot, and you know Frodo came from that, right? Like, it's Frobo or Frodo? Frobo, right?
Frobo, I believe.
Frobo, yeah. So like Frobo is like he's getting his moment, and I'm like, this is cool, but I was like, why don't they just like they don't try to give you actually, you know, it's funny, they do give you his backstory, but right before he dies, when the king's like, oh, this is one of my robots, he must be deficient. It's like they really just treated him as like this inconvenience, like not inconvenience, like this character who only existed to be Polly's friend, and they didn't try to do anything more than that, and it was kind of weird.
I don't
Go on.
understand the point of introducing a character, like build them up the entire season, just to have them have one purpose, and then you fucking kill them all.
Yeah. All right.
Shit,
I don't
like,
get it.
It makes
the
no
amount
sense.
of build-up, yeah, legit, they gave him so much build-up that you would expect him to be part of the main cast, or you get to learn more about him, like his, shit and stuff. But instead, he's just a background character. That's it. He's just Polly's friend, Polly's brother, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there's this fucking jabroni, like near the end, the king's like, fuck you, you're gonna die now, and then we spent this entire season trying to care about this character. They only gave him like one piece of character before he dies.
Exactly.
He's just Polly's friend. That's it. There's nothing interesting about Frobo at all.
Yeah.
They had the robot attack, then Polly befriended it, and then they trusted Polly with a robot. And by the way, that's so funny to think
Fucking
about.
toddler.
Right. I'm probably gonna have a take on Polly later that you guys will disagree with, but one thing I will say, because I was like, oh my god, dude, never let me go through 36 episodes in an hour trying to get notes ever again, because oh my god, bro, I was like near the verge of like passing out. But I was like, this show is just surrounded with so much filler that it's like impossible to remember which episodes are important and which aren't, and that's like the
Like One
biggest that's the biggest thing I ran into, because I was like, I know there's some important episodes, but I just don't remember which ones, and I gotta go sit through, like, at least I would just skip to the half and my mind would remind me. But I think episode 1 really sets the scene for everything in my weird brain, because first off, it shows Sprig doing something dumb and everybody having to fix it once again, because that's a that's a fun theme that everybody loves. Then it's like, and
Fucking hate spring.
and whenever Anne's ego is like another thing entirely in of itself, which is seen whenever she wanted to be the person to fix up the the planter's house, but then she ends up creating those crop monsters. And then
What about that?
yeah, and then Hot Pop, he's just kind of how he is. He's just over the top. And it's not like it's bad over the top, because honestly, more often than not, maybe it's just because I'm getting older, or maybe because I'm rewatching, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this guy was right. Why are they doing so much dumb stuff trying to get themselves nearly killed? And if he says anything bad about it, they're like, you're no fun. It's like, bro. Like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, fun. It's not like you almost fucking died.
Right? Like, Hot Pop... Well, not Hot Pop. Sprig pulled the lever because Hot Pop was like, you don't pull levers in places you don't understand, because that can just bring danger. And Sprig, to prove a point, did it, and then it literally created Frobo and created that computer that almost crushed like Anne and Hot Pop, you know? And I was like, bro.
Yeah, it's like, it's like not hard to listen to what he fucking says.
Yeah,
like it's not that hard. I mean, it was. The thing is, like, they could have made it work if he did like really egregious, like really stupid rules, like something like, oh, you have to tie your shoe, you have to take off your shoes when you in this thing, or you like something stupid that would actually make sense. Like, yeah, of course, why you don't want to listen to that, but they do this normal rules, like, but. They like fucking, well, how old is Sprig? Like 12 or something?
Yeah, Sprig is definitely 12. Like, you can just tell.
Yeah. Yeah, Sprig's 12, Anne's 13, and Polly's like, what, 3, 4?
I want to say 2.
Like,
but they portray her as like 1.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, she's a literal tadpole.
Yeah, a little tadpole. So, like, it's not like you guys are, like, Anne's the oldest, but Anne's, like, only a preteen, or she's not that fucking responsible as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the entire season is just me sympathizing with Hop Pop. Hop Pop's like the most basic character in the show besides Mossy.
Yeah, because season...
God.
Right, because season 1, you're like looking at it and you're like, well, okay, we see this, and this happening. But Hop Pop, you're kind of freaking out because Anne's just trying to figure out the world. I'm not saying you should be like totally, like, you know... I get why he's worrying, but it's like, it was more insane for season 1 because let's just be real, this second season is such a big contrast to the first season in how dangerous it is. Can we agree to that? Like,
yeah,
it's like such a massive
fucking Halloween episode.
Right?
Goddamn Halloween episode, man.
Shoot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Season 2 is an improvement.
Yeah,
It's an improvement, but it's not an improvement.
It's like they're in a new terrain, dealing with new enemies, and they're trying to keep the same behaviors of when they were back at home. And you know, really, this show tells you, bro, they're gonna almost die like every episode, filler or not. You're just like, they're almost gonna die. Right? It's like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
I actually liked like the road trip format of the show. I think
nice.
It was nice. The part that I liked is when they visited different locations instead of like
Added more world building.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm a sucker for world building, but I fucking like them exploring Amphibia more than fucking Sprig and Anne doing something stupid, and then at the end they realize, oh wait, that stupid Hop Pop was right. Let me go apologize to Hop Pop because we almost killed him, or we almost killed ourselves.
Yeah. Now, I can't fully... I gotta be cringe. I can't fully be like Hop Pop didn't do anything dumb, because if you remember, in episode 3, I was being sure it was episode 3. Hop Pop has this moment where everybody's like, "Well, Hop Pop, all you do is become like a coward," kind of like they made like I think Sprig made a literal song calling his Hop Pop a coward, right? And it caused Hop Pop to get so mad that he went into town and just started saying a bunch of lies. Like, I saved this many people. I saved this many people. And then he had to, like, go and actually save a town from, like, the these criminals.
A bunch of like, yeah, he has to like split the town from a bunch of frog rednecks, basically.
Exactly, because he was like mouthing off. So this is one big thing I'll talk about later when we get to Marcy. But their egos are just like so noticeable. Like the moment they take a little hit, now I get it. Most people would probably be upset, right? Especially if you're 13 or 12 and stuff like that. But oh my god, like Hop Pop just to prove a point goes and saves a town rather than say, hey guys, I was lying a little bit and I don't think I can do this. Maybe I need some help, right? Like it just kills me how they're willing to die than admit they're wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm watching it's like I'm watching Eric Cartman from South Park try to be a hero. It's like he's an egotistical asshole, and he's like, well, he's supposed to root for them.
Right.
Out of all the comparisons you could have compared Hop Pop to, you said Eric Cartman. Eric.
I was gonna say MJF, but like MJF is based.
Honestly, if I was to compare Hop Pop to anyone, I'm trying to think. Hop Pop is just like your typical, you know, like the guy in the yellow hat character. It's like, yeah, he's there for you if you like need someone to fall back on. But at the end of the day, he understands that you need to go and figure things out on your own, and that no matter how bad things go, he's always going to be there for you, which isn't bad. It just makes it where anytime he's in a scene where I know Sprig and Ann are going to do something dumb, I'm like, you're just putting him there so he gets mad. Like, come on, there's no way he's going to agree to half of what they're saying. Like, Sprig and Ann's idea of an adventure is like getting nearly blown up. Like, that's
like war crimes.
Like literally war crimes. You know, something I ran into, I had to like write down full descriptions of episodes, because it's like sometimes it's like there's a message there, but then it's like just filler, just boring. So I guess since we were like talking badly about Polly, I gotta have to argue with you guys a little bit, because you know what episode I'm gonna talk about with Polly. They
Is it the one where what's this? She becomes like a fucking. She like they leave her behind, or she wants herself to get left behind.
Exactly.
And she joins like a fucking like a biker club.
But they were actually really nice. But no,
that episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say my opinion, and if you disagree with me. But how I saw it when I was rewatching, at first I was going into the episode again, being like, Polly was so annoying, right? But then something I quickly caught on to is that like Polly was just like upset, mostly because she just wasn't a terrain that she wasn't familiar with, and kind of just didn't want to admit to herself that she wanted them there to help her, right? Like she wanted to pretend that she's like tougher than she actually is, maybe because of her age and a lot of stuff like that. So I'll give her that, but I'm not gonna lie, she was like going crazy. She was like accidentally inconveniencing everyone. Like
the thing that didn't make sense of this episode is like Sprig, especially like how Sprig acted. He's like, well, Polly, you inconvenienced, you're messing my shit up, but the entire show I've just been messing shit up. But now when you do it, I'm gonna act like I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Legit, Spring, you're the last one to talk here.
It kills me that he's the one who criticizes. I was kind of confused by that too, because I was like, do you forget what you did episode 1? You almost got them killed on the first day out. Like, come on, bro. And then when Hop Pop was like, maybe I should have left her, they acted all upset at that. But I was like, no, in reality, it's an interesting thought. Like, if Polly wasn't there, now, obviously, Polly is important to the story. But like, if Polly got left behind because of her age and stuff like that, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Would that have been like so far-fetched that it's like insane?
No, okay, no. You know what I think Hop Pop should have done? If I was Hop Pop, I would have done this. Fuck you two, friggin' Polly. You're a fucking inconvenience to my life. You're staying at home. I'm taking Anne, because Anne actually has has actual shit that is important. She wants to get back to her home. You guys should stay at home, look after my crops, so when I don't come back, my business isn't ruined. Try this not to fucking cause problems for me.
Yeah, you see, the joke is that's too rational for the show, because they like every single episode has to be like action packed. But you know what? I'm gonna say I think Polly coming along wasn't bad. I think what was bad about the entire situation of this episode is that, like, again, it's just another, I don't know if you can call it filler, but it kind of is. And it's like, these episodes are supposed to have so much important meaning, right? They're supposed to signify to you that like Polly's growing up, right? Like Polly's having her moment to realize that she can't always get what she wants, and that isn't bad. But how does Polly get that episode before Sprig? It's like it just doesn't have any semblance of meaning, because it's like, oh, sorry, the next episode is going to be something entirely random for the sake of being random, and is not going to have any purpose beyond this. I like Polly though. I'm glad you guys aren't.
He's fine.
Yeah,
It's better than Maple.
Mabel.
Mabel.
Oh my god. One day we're gonna have to watch Gravity Falls and I'll argue with you on this, because I can't remember much of the show, but I will say Mabel, as annoying as she is, again, they're the same age as Sprig.
Oh, you have no idea.
At least Mabel was like
fucking asshole.
Actually, yeah, Mabel was looking back at it, Mabel was a piece of shit to Dipper the entire show.
Again, this is just another parallel. All of these people are terrible, but the thing is by the end is like you start to understand that they're not bad people because they want to be bad people. It's just that they're so used to
stupid.
They're just used to getting what they want in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I mean, Dipper was the only one who kind of had the realization that that's not going to happen. But even then, when it came to looking for the books, he would put the books above his own family. So again, there's a lot of stuff with it. One day we should probably just like rewatch Gravity Falls, right?
Yeah, we should. No, but like I think that thing of like, oh, the character who always gets what they want learns to grow. Like I know it's like the only time I can think of it worked is when Amity, she went from a spoiled kid, top class spoiled kid. She learned how to be a better person, and that's like the one time where I think it worked.
All I'm gonna say,
a Disney show.
all I'm gonna say is if there's ever anybody being like getting what you want does work for a character, all you got to do is show them any episode with Sasha and their mind will change. Okay, so but that's besides the
I have a lot to say about Sasha.
How to bring her up.
We're not there yet, just yet, don't worry, but I had to name drop her, right? Because everybody loves her. All right,
I just don't get it.
honestly,
I remember I saw this one time, this person said they had Sasha as their comfort character. I'm quite worried about that person.
getting emotionally abused is like a comfort thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't judge. My comfort character is Emperor Bellows. Still Cypher too.
Emperor Bellows is like
it's kind of funny because it's like, I mean, it's just like these characters aren't exactly good, but you kind of get why Bellows did it at the end of the day, right? And that, again,
Bellows is just a dude.
All right, he was just a guy who got carried away with power. I mean, but okay, I guess we should. Oh my God, we got to talk about Sasha, don't we? Because I'm looking at my notes, guys, and I'm on episode 8. I think what kills me about episode 8 is Grim being lazy is kind of funny to me. Like, don't get me wrong, I knew that Toad was always
Grime.
Grime, my bad. I didn't say Grim. Okay, but Grime, I was so used to being like this leader who's like always doing stuff, but then he just gets like a little break and the dude does not want to fight anymore, and it was so crazy, was it not? I think because
No,
It's
okay,
like me for real.
about Amphibia. Like, it's a funny show.
yeah.
Like, if the comedy was bad,
okay.
I'm very cynical, so I would be bashing it a lot. But it's actually a pretty funny show.
Again, debatable, but yeah.
Yeah, it's debatable, but I think it's not. I think it's the humor in the fact that the whole show is like really dark. Like, let's just be real. If this show was made for like any other network, it would probably have like, it would just have the highest like disturbing rating it could get. Let's just be real. It's like I wouldn't say it's pushing the lines for a Disney show, but considering how many times again they're almost about to die, it makes you really wonder like how far they could have took this. We haven't even got to season 3, what happens to Marcy yet, so like it's just like it's clear that they like push it. But no, Sasha is power hungry because that's always how her character's been, and then she
That bitch.
right, and then she goes and realizes she has a bounty hunter going after her. And I'm just gonna say it, no hate to that bounty hunter, but if your name is so long you can't say it in like one sentence, then you might as well just embrace that anytime you start talking you're gonna get attacked. That was insane.
Bounty hunter was like, fuck's sake. It was so random. It was so random that it worked.
Right? The bounty hunter was a good fighter. They were really skilled, but as soon as you asked them to repeat their name, you had them occupied for 10 minutes. It was insane. I was like, really? That's how you defeat them? Grime comes up behind and knocks her off into the river because of her extremely long name. Part of me just felt like it would have been nice if I could have seen an actual fight with Sasha and the bounty hunter. I mean, they were fighting, but then again, that lazy. Dude, that lazy.
They already used all their budget for that episode. And they're like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Disney won't let us spend any more money, so we're gonna have to have some cop-out ending.
Shoot, we can't make Sasha win this fight through skill. We have to make it where they win through, again.
I mean, to be fair, the bounty hunter has more experience and is probably more skilled than Sasha. I'm sorry to tell you this.
No, I agree. I meant like Sasha's like never stopped from doing dirty tactics, so I just don't get why she couldn't come up with one on her own that didn't involve Grime, the guy who did literally nothing. I'm just gonna say that guy is like about as useless as like I can't even think of who he's useless as because his character is just unique.
One guy who, like, I think it was episode 1 who they made to look after the farm. He's more useful.
Yeah, Grime is just there, like, just to talk. He's like, I'll put it like this. Sasha's just the one who led everything, and he was just a face, and that's all he was the entire season. And they tried to make him more important than he is. But I mean, I'll just skip ahead. That whole stupid party where Anne let her guard down for some reason. That idiot got himself knocked out whenever they had to fight those bees. You remember? And like,
yeah,
and they had to like actively save them while he was asleep. It was like the dude does nothing. He adds nothing to the show beyond, oh, guys, I am the king, and that's it. That's all he does. But that's a critique we can get into further and deeper when we go ahead. Do you guys have some points? I don't want to just take over by accident.
I have some points.
Go ahead.
I have some points. The amount of filler episodes in this season makes me want to kill myself. There are so much useless filler episodes. Oh, but filler episodes are useful. They help build character. They help develop the characters and make them bond more. Okay, here's a question for you. Did we really need an episode where Marcy is hanging out with an emo frog? Did we need an episode where Anne is hanging out with this blue frog guy with a bad eye? I forgot his name. Did we need that episode? Right. No, we did not. Did we need a fucking episode where they have a battle of band bullshit where Sasha, it seems like at the end of the episode, it seems like Sasha has a change of heart. Is not gonna go through with her stupid planned bullshit. But psych! Next episode, she's gonna go through it because fuck you. Fuck having characters have more depth to them or whatever the hell. Fuck that shit, man. We're Amphibia. We don't take our characters seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the one thing, when you mentioned the emo frog should have been a main character. He should have. Right. I think he had the potential to be like top 20 greatest characters.
For Amphibia fans, not for us, but hot take. That emo frog should have replaced Spring. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, emo frog. When you guys say emo frog, are you talking about the witch, right? The witch.
Yeah, the witch one.
Oh my god, her character. I you know, it's so funny. When I was doing the notes for this, I wanted to put her in, but the problem is like she gets like just totally just no screen time like at all in the episodes, and this kind of makes me confused. It's like you have this character that knows how to use like spells. They would have been like super useful on that trip. Is that just like they should have been with like Anne. They should have been.
No, it's probably just like this. Like I just imagine like the guys in the boardroom meetings like, oh, why can't we use this character more? Oh yeah, because there's another show that has magical characters. So like, you know, we don't want to ride the coattails too much.
It's just like
So let's just
it
get
was
rid of
better
this
than
character.
us.
It would have been perfect. Just
Yeah.
picture, like, here's how they could have. Remember, she had this like weird crush on like Sprig, so she could have easily had this moment where she like disguised herself to sneak onto their like wagon, and then like expose herself and be like, hey, I want to join you guys on this trip because I want to learn more magic. That's easy. They could have easily did that, and the amount of filler they had, and as you're mentioning, they could have easily made an episode where she tags along, but they just didn't do it. And then they give her this boring, I mean, extremely boring episode. At least Marcy was there, where we deal, where she has to like save her annoying siblings. Again, no hate to kids, but those siblings, the fact that her moment was relegated to that episode already is just like, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That's all I'm gonna.
No, that's the problem. My problem with Amphibia characters. Like the side characters are more like interesting than the main characters. Like, I would much rather get like I would much rather have an episode dedicated to the fucking bikers that were with Polly than fucking a Sprig episode,
Exactly.
or like another episode where Anne does something stupid. Like,
I'm glad.
Saying that, I think we should apologize to the people who are watching, because we haven't properly introduced Marcy and like a few of these characters for a reason. And the problem is with Marcy is that Marcy comes in so much later that by the time you're trying to learn about her story, I just don't want to be mean, but it's kind of overshadowed, is it not? It's like overshadowed by everything else. And I feel like it just does a disservice to Marcy's character, because Marcy's character is like the most, I think one thing
Interesting.
Actually, she isn't fueled by her ego as much as the other characters, which was a crazy contrast. It was more like she's clumsy, she has her dumb moments, but when she has to get like involved in something, she can like put aside that and actually do it. Like that episode where Anna was trying to baby her, which is so ironic when we consider the fact that Anne let Sasha baby her, but we're not going to talk about that, right? She like willingly had to fight off Anne. But I think that the funniest thing, and I'll give the writers this, is they had an entire episode where they just tore down Anne's ego around Marcy. Like, remember when they had Anne figure out how much smarter Marcy is than her, and had to like go through this like entire just brutal episode of following after her while she solves every puzzle and literally figures out
that was the
everything.
best episode in the entire show.
Yeah, I love
Like, I don't think it's my favorite episode.
I didn't even want to move off of the witch, but I know Marcy had an episode with the witch, and it's just like the fact that these two characters that could have easily had their own shows and have been just as interesting got relegated to Anne or Sprig's weird love interest. Is like stupid. Is that just me? Like Anne's friend, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh no, I agree.
Like, yeah.
Fuck.
yeah. So yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about with Marcy, and well, this is more about Marcy and Anne's relationship. So, like, as you said, Anne was babying her,
Yeah.
and she did that to Sasha. Well, Sasha did that to Anne. So this entire friendship is just incredibly toxic. So it's one person being shit to the other person, then the other person be shit to that person.
Yeah, like,
It's like, why am I supposed to root for these people then? They all fucking.
you know, a moment that really hurt my heart, man, was the sleepover episode. You know how
Oh my god, I hated it.
like Marcy just has this film she likes and she wants to show it to her friends, but her friends always they always put themselves first and they never really cared. Like at first they cared, but then
Oh, whoa! We're jumping way too forward. That's season 3, my dude.
no, that's not season 3.
Jumping way
no,
too-
this is season 2.
No, it was season 2.
Yeah, this is season
Was
2.
it?
Yeah, the sleepover.
Yeah, because half of season 3 they were in the real world, and
Yeah, you're jumping.
Marcy was Boston.
Well, yeah, we're on season 2. See, okay, I'll explain it. So, they get to Newtopia, right? They get to Newtopia, and while Anne
Oh,
is there,
that's sleepover.
yeah, that one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sleepover, it starts off with like Marcy's like staying up and she's watching her movie and she's like passionate about it because she just loves it. And then it like cuts to Anne and like Sasha asleep because they just don't care and they don't care to pretend to care. And it's like, okay, on one hand, I can agree. If you show somebody the same movie 50 times, they're gonna get tired of it, okay? But the fact that, but also on the other hand, the fact that like rather than just try to like embrace and like find new topics like with Marcy to a point where she can look at other media. Already shows a lot about their friendship, because rather than try to be like, hey, I don't like this movie, we should check this out and I think you'll like it, rather than do that, you instead sleep while pretending to care about it. Is like that's just mean, is it not? Like
It's mean. Like, what the fuck?
it's like
I treated Marcy like complete dog shit. And then
For
she
real, huh?
died.
exactly.
Like,
I hate
yeah.
that scene
Like
so
Marcy,
much.
like if you look at her life, she's fucking sad.
Yeah.
Like she's a smart person. She gets manipulated by both of her friends. It's not just one of them. She gets stuck in this fucking like new place by herself. She has to climb the ranks of newts. Then she gets abused. Then her fucking friends don't want to. When she finally finds her friends, they treat her like shit again.
exactly.
Then she fucking gets stabbed.
I think the most brutal part about is I'm trying to remember it concisely. Oh shoot, my bad.
Anyways, this podcast is sponsored by NordVPN.
Okay, so I mentioned how so Marcy obviously has like a lot of things that you can like point out, and the one big thing that I was gonna point out earlier, but I didn't say it for one reason, is she made that deal with the king in the end, remember? And she pretended that like, well, not pretended, but she played dumb about it, and because her motive at the end of the day was, guess what, to keep them all there in Amphibia forever so they could always be friends. All right, and I'll be real, that is very selfish, and you can even say there's an ego behind it, but I would argue the opposite. I would say that just shows Marcy's character.
She's attached.
Marcy's like so used to being ignored, so used to not really being seen as important, and in this place she finally gets treated as like an equal instead of a standoutish outcast person, right? There she has a statue of her, right? There she can research about stuff and actually add way more benefit to people's lives than she normally could. So I get why people might get mad at that and be like, Marcy shouldn't have did that, and like Marcy is like trying to keep Anne there. In the real world, all Anne and Sasha did was impose their worldview onto someone else.
Yeah, no. Like Marcy, I think Marcy, if I was Marcy, I would just take both of them and say, fuck you, I'm staying here. Over here, I'm seen as the shit. You guys are terrible friends, you can fuck off, take your frog fuckers with you, and you can go. I'm gonna fucking rule this shit here.
I hate.
Exactly.
Are we gonna talk about True Colors?
Yeah.
See, I mean,
Yeah, alright.
I've been.
I'll start. Alright. Dear Amphibia fans, this might be a hot take for you, but you have to accept the fact that your precious True Colors is one of the most worst episodes of television I've ever witnessed in my fucking life. I'm gonna break it down for you, by piece. You can understand. Point number uno, pacing. It's faster than my grandmother on cocaine running up the staircase. You barely have any time to take in anything. 1 minute, they're in Utopia. They meet the king. You know, everything's going well. But the next minute, Shasha ambushes the king. She takes over Utopia. Toad invasion happens. Other minute happens. They find out King is Batman, bad guy, very evil man. Other minute, oh, it's revealed he is Batman. Oh no, evil man. The next minute, Robot Man dies. Polly gets legs. Spring fucking dies. Bullshit and powers comes out of nowhere. Then finally, Marcy's death scene. What the fuck is this? Is this Mighty Swordsman? What the hell is this bullshit? What are you spewing on me? Slow it down. Alright, second point. Marcy's death scene. Pointless scene in all of Amphibia. What's the point of it? Absolutely nothing. It's just shock value. Oh, but it's not shock value. It had some build-up. No, it did not. I don't know why. For some reason, these Amphibia fans think Marcy's cape getting on fire is foreshadowing her getting stabbed because Angie's sword is made out of fire when it's clearly made out of fucking laser. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, guys, we at Amphibia, we love to.
You see, there's a lot of things that built up to it, and you know what kind of told me, and this is we mentioned the party where Grime was useless because he's always useless. But one big thing was when Sasha and Grime were pretending to be just Anne's best friend again. They had that whole party where they put on this act, right? And they did that whole thing where they gave this whole like dance, like look guys, we are better people. And then they would have this moment where like keep up the act and stuff, you know, like that weird right scene. And then you look at like the True Colors, and then you see, oh, So they were playing dumb to like ensure that they could get what they wanted. Luckily they didn't. But then the part that kills me, I hate the king. Nobody likes the king. But I think the fact that, like, I'm just gonna say it, they drop a moment. They always let Sasha get an out anytime these episodes. Like, the king's worse, so now we have to team up with you. It's just all Sasha did was betray their trust the entire time, and now all of a sudden the king is there, and rather than say, hey, Sasha and Grime, you fight them by yourselves because we don't want to help you, they instead say, oh, we're gonna be good old friends again. It's like stupid. It's like, I think honestly, I'm gonna say it, they should have made Sasha and like Grime die there. And I think they should have had that happen, because I don't actually, their characters added nothing there. The characters were literally awful people the entire show, and all they ever did, all Sasha ever did was bring down the friendship because she couldn't let her ego be put aside for 1 second. That's why when you brought up the Battle of the Bands thing, it kills me, because the only reason why Marcy and Anne had to make their own band is because Sasha literally would not compromise and listen to them and help them out and just be fun. Sasha had to have things go her way the entire time. Like, I don't know. And so when you bring up Marcy's death scene and how that was useless, it was like that whole episode's useless because you don't feel nothing for anybody.
It just happens way too fast. You barely have any time. I feel like what they should have done.
It's like
what they should have done?
Watching this shit while I'm on speed or some shit.
You know what they should have done? Should have fucking fuck the filler episodes, right? Cut all the filler episodes out. What you should have done is a two-parter, right? After the first part about Sasha and Grime's betrayal, whatever the fuck, right? In the second part, I don't fucking know. You figure that out yourself. Maybe reveal Andres is evil or some shit. I don't know.
Alright.
Bro, the way how they did it is so fucking stupid. I know it's nitpicky, but it's so fucking stupid. You're meaning to tell me that Andreas, King fucking Andreas, didn't think to remove a clearly obvious mural of him destroying shit? No, let's keep that there. You know, let's just keep that there. You know, why not? I hope someone finds it and realize I'm a fucking tyrant or some shit.
Bro, it's like, oh wow. I wonder how, if I'm gonna do this facade of being a good person, why don't they not just destroy the mural of me committing war crimes? I'm just gonna paint over it.
Also, I'm just gonna say it, I felt nothing when they dropped Sprig, because I knew Sprig wasn't gonna die. I mean, come on, that's just like too much plot convenience and too much plot armor. When King held him out the window, right, and dropped him, oh my god, guys, Sprig is gonna fall to his death, as if the entire seasons haven't been about them evading death. Guys, I'm just gonna say, and I don't like Anne at all this season. I'm gonna say it. You guys disagree, I understand, but I think Anne...
Oh no, I agree.
Anne being 13,
I agree as well.
Excuse the fact that she's just like insufferable like the entire time. Like, again, I think it's fine to have an ego, but it was like, for example, I think I'll use an example which is reasonable for her to be mad at, but when Hot Pop hid the music box, okay? Now, she was justified in being mad at that. I mean, the thing that helps you get home is missing, and you knew where it was. That's betrayal. But then it's also like, Hot Pop always has a reason for anything he does, and I feel like the fact that it had to take him having to tell you this story for you to like understand, instead of just like, you know, I mean, I'm just gonna say, is there no level of trust? If this was season 1, this would be different, okay? It's season 1. If you were unironically hiding stuff from Anne, like nobody would defend that. Like, you don't really know her. Why are you doing this? That's weird. But by season 2, you understand Hot Pop's intentions well enough to know that if he's hiding anything from you, it's most likely just because he's being an old man who's scared, right? It's not that he's trying to like keep you there forever or try to actively ruin your life. He's just confused about what the heck this is, and he doesn't know how to handle it. Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
So that's what so I was like, I get why she was mad, but I think jumping to the worst intentions of him possible was like so forced. It was like, you don't have to have trust there. You can be mad, but I think pretending Hot Pop is trying to keep you in Amphibia forever when you guys are unironically going, again, you're like, it's just so stupid. You've been on trips with him to different terrains. He's trying to help you. Why is he trying to keep you there forever?
If you think about it logically, why would Hopper want to keep Anne at his fucking place anyway?
Right.
Like, what he does
she's
is
a
wreck his ship, almost kills his grandson, and just gets into trouble. Why would you want her there?
Like that makes no sense.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry, Anne fans. We know one big Anne fan's gonna edit himself into the show just to diss us. But, no, like, he's gonna, I think it's like, the problem I'm having, and this is like, this is a big one, is I think Anne obviously is just trying to figure things out, and that's fine. Give me that excuse, this and that. But it's just like, I think the characteristics of, I think actually I can say it. I think I don't know which character. I think it was Hop Pop. Hop Pop was like, we're not at home, and I think that just sets the theme for the whole second season. They are all acting like they haven't changed, they haven't developed, they haven't done anything to make them better people, and now you magically have to get used to their antics. When I'm like, no, like Sprig, you've become a worse person. I'm sorry about the story of your mom, and I feel bad for her. I'm sorry, this is getting all over the place. It's like all over the place, but it's just like, it's one big thing to it. Perfectly sums up True Colors. True Colors is just a mess, and the reason why it's a mess is because they don't handle each character properly. They don't make each character important beyond a scene, as you mentioned in the beginning of this podcast. Like, literally Frobo it's like getting, they treated Marcy as Frobo just in a different way, right? Like,
you didn't say that.
I mean, they made this character show up when it was convenient. They were nice to be around, but then whenever it came to their death, rather than use it for something that's important, they use it for shock value, and that's it. You know? So I mean, right? They just essentially just made every single side character just like almost near NPC level. Like, Marcy's just there, like, and I'm like, why is Marcy just there when she could clearly do more than Anne and Sasha combined? Like, I don't know, this is just so, that episode is just so stupid, and it's
so terrible. It just pisses me off how these people are like, oh, True Colors is the best finale for Amphibia, or that it's better than fucking Reunion, and it's better than King's Tide. That makes no fucking sense. I'm convinced these people either have Down syndrome or they didn't watch the episode. They're lying to themselves. Exactly. I hate these people. They shut off all critical thinking because, oh look, pretty colors. Look, Anne went Super Saiyan. Oh my God, Sprig almost died. Sad scene. Cry, cry. Oh, Marcy dies. Cry.
Like, I don't get it. Like, especially these fucking like guys on Twitter, they're saying, oh, the Owl House isn't good because Amphibia is better. In what way is it better? I don't get it.
Like Owl House, and it's because these people pretend anything LGBT related is the worst thing on the planet, and they can't acknowledge for 1 second.
I'm like,
they're fucking pussies.
It's like these guys who are like in fucking like vlog Twitter, and they're like, oh, the Owl House sucked. And it's like, why? Oh, just because people say it's better than Amphibia. Okay.
Oh my
God. Okay, if you want to say the Owl House sucked, what thing has Amphibia done better than the Owl House? It hasn't done characters better.
Like,
it hasn't done storylines better.
Like,
it hasn't done anything better.
The Owl House did what Amphibia tried to do in half of the time, and I think there was practically little to no filler in Owl House. I mean, even the filler, okay, let's say there is filler, and let's say there you can point to an episode. Even the filler episodes in the Owl House still had importance because they showed more of the character. All the filler was character development. That was literally the filler. In Owl House, in Amphibia, the filler is literally just there. I mean, who cares? No offense to that snail, but they did not deserve an entire episode. So, Bessie did. Bessie getting an entire episode was stupid and pointless, and it was just meant to be. Guys, look at how wholesome.
No, like, I don't get it. It's like, oh, how is I don't understand. Like, if you wanted to compare True Colors to even the season 1 of the Owl House's ending, like, season 1 Owl House's ending was good. What do? You get a cool ass animated witch fight, and you actually get some character development. You don't get character development, which you're supposed to do in a season final.
Yeah, and you also get a cool-ass villain that's actually there throughout the entire course of your fucking show, and doesn't show up in the last season where he possessed a random teenager and just does nothing.
It's like,
God,
it
dude.
kills me that the king is like so overpowered, but we don't know anything about him for like the whole thing. And it's like by the time he shows up and he's like, this guy is bad, they only did it because Grime is like such a failure of a character that they can't use him as a final boss. And that's the only reason why they made the look. Okay, I'm gonna be real, and this is the most real I'm gonna be. The reason why Newtopia is a cool place is because they have some semblance of like, you know, structure. Like they're able to come together and figure out these issues, and that's why them having a king makes sense. But I'm just gonna say, the fact that you have this infinitely more interesting storyline of the king being this evil person, and we must figure it out. That easily could have been like half of season 2. Them figuring out the king's plan. They could have easily worked it up to where when they went to Earth, they knew everything, and they could warn people and they could prepare themselves. Instead of the king is evil in the last episode, and now they have to like rely on that stupid Anne overpowered thing, dude. I'm sorry, Anne getting that power.
Anne fucking Anne turns into fucking Superman for no reason. She can now, and then
Listen.
she doesn't get these powers for forever now. It's not like she unlocked a new ability. No, she just had it when her friend fucking dies. Well, when I'm gonna go and get into a car crash, I'm gonna see if my friend almost dies. I'm gonna see if I get fucking superpowers.
Dude, it's like they just didn't want you to know the king's evil so badly that they forced that power in. And it's not like the power would be bad. Just imagine, like, look, they had her go through, I'm sorry, but they had her go through all these stupid trials and tribulations just to get to these temples, right? Just to even get to Newtopia. You're telling me not one person could have told them, hey, you need to prepare for the king because this king is hiding something. You're telling me that a lady with that like weird eye that got saved couldn't tell Anne, hey, I think something's going on in Newtopia, and you guys are gonna have to look into it, please, and help me out, because I'm leading people here because this issue is bigger than me. Like, you're telling me nobody could do that? Like, they couldn't write that in? They couldn't, like...
Fuck.
I don't get
Why couldn't you have one character be like, hey, that king dude, he's kind of sus, you know? He's kind of suspicious. And you might want to look... You might keep an eye on him on shit.
Right.
No one at all? Seriously?
Yeah, that's why the sleepover episode was like, one half was just mean to Marcy, but the other half is just useless. It's like they discover this like place that gives you like a semblance of like a hint to the king's background, and because they know nothing about him, they don't even look. You know what I mean? Like they literally fell into like his den. They could have
to his fucking basement, discovered this fucking suspicious ass shit, weird creatures from other dimensions shit, and what they do with it? Nothing. They do nothing with it. What's the point of revealing it?
No, do you know what also? Like, let's compare it to the Owl House. Let's see, how did the Owl House do their villain? Okay, so first, it was established that this guy, he didn't seem like an evil person, he just had a coven system. Okay? Do you know what they did? They slowly gave us information that the coven system is part of his master plan. So the big reveal of season 1 is that this guy's basically fucking witch Hitler. And he's trying to fucking... And then season 2's main storyline is, oh, we're trying to go to battle with him.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
why couldn't they just fucking done that?
It's... Oh my god. Like, they were so caught up in Sasha. I mean, like... Again, I get it, okay? I get why they made the King's reveal a big deal, but it's like when you follow it up with the Earth episodes, it just throws everything off track. Because you're going from just seeing your friend die to them eating ramen. It's like, bro, this is like a crazy switch in anticipation and like worry.
Tone and everything. We'll don't worry, Amphibia fans. We'll get to that when we get to season 3.
Now,
For now,
yeah, don't worry. One thing I will say is you guys might, if I rewatch and I like a season 3 Earth episodes, that's gonna be a fun conversation because I already know what you guys think of them.
oh good god. Oh,
but
yeah,
God, I'm gonna have a field day with that one. Have a field day, yay.
One thing I will say is that like there's some episodes I wrote down that was just like pointless filler. Like Wally's character literally doesn't matter, but I did find that episode kind of fun, like, you know, because it adds more context to who he is. Like,
Yes, yeah.
I mean, but it's like, I'm sorry, just none of these episodes really mean anything. Like, Polly is annoying, but again, they don't do. Oh my god, they don't do anything with Polly. They don't do anything with Marcy. They don't do anything with. Well, actually, they do something with Sprig. But season 3 is gonna make me super mad at Sprig, and I think I have to calm myself down when we get there. Okay, but Polly, it's just they're essentially useless unless you're Anne or Hot Pop. That's it. You just don't matter unless you're those two characters, and that's just like weird to me. But I'm sure we could talk about True Colors for another hour. But do you guys have much more to say? Any other points? Like, of course, we can go.
Let's see, what other point can I say about True Colors that hasn't been said already?
Exactly.
How about this? The fact that they fucking ruined any interest I have in Sasha's character. Like, okay, I get it, right? She's misunderstood, you see. She's a misunderstand child. She has divorced parents, boo-hoo fucking bullshit. I feel more sympathy for Amity season 1 or fucking Pacifica season 2. You know, that I feel more sympathy towards those two than fucking I forgot her name now. Sasha. There we go. Because like she's a manipulative bitch. She's so fucking egotistical. Her ego is so up her asshole that I'm otherwise gonna shed a tear. And
No,
she's just so goddamn
I have a bit to say
unlikable.
about Sasha as well. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking kayfabe, which will probably piss off a lot of people, but my job is to play a bad guy. I go out and I play a bad guy, so I know what makes a good bad guy, and I know that if you want to be smart, you can build sympathy for the bad guy.
Alright.
You can do this by adding a personality. They don't add anything to make Sasha likable. They just say, oh, Sasha's this shitty person,
Exactly.
but, oh, they have a divorced parents.
I
What
guess
does that
so.
have any correlation to do with being a shit friend?
I'm working. See, it's funny that you mentioned like the non-complexity of Sasha, because I'm working on a video about this movie Heathers, right? And this movie is like some 1989 film that's like supposed to go over like, oh, killing people I don't like, you know, kind of general premise of it. And it kind of, what kills me is that there's this like evil character like named JD in it, right? And his whole thing in the movie is like he wants to be like the villain. But yeah, it's just like he does all this stuff, he does all these like killings, he does all this like murder, right? Like, but then by the time like well, he doesn't kill a lot, you get what I mean, but he's this evil guy. But by the time you get to his story, his backstory, you're just like, you don't feel bad. You're like, dude, you're an awful person. How am I supposed to feel bad
really?
about what happened to your mom? How am I supposed to feel bad about anything that's happened to you when you haven't portrayed a semblance of like anything that can make you likable? As you guys are mentioning with Sasha now, it's like, why do they do this? Like, why do they make these? It's fine to have a villain no one likes, but you can't make it where Sasha's always trying to be a best friend and then make it where it's like painfully obvious that she can never change who she is. It's like, it's just stupid. It's a waste of time.
Legit stupid.
And that's why JD was like a waste of time to me. And in my video, I'm definitely going to be attacking that guy, because it's like, oh man, and people love these characters too. Like, they just talk about them like they're the greatest things, like the greatest people ever. And it's like, you guys are coping. You guys are literally coping, because they add literally nothing.
Yeah, like
Another thing, like, okay, I'm gonna say something about, let's compare Sasha to MJF. They're pretty fucking similar. They're both egotistical, but what makes MJF work compared to Sasha is he actually has a character. Sasha doesn't have a character. They're just the idea of a manipulative friend. That's not a character. That's just your trait. Yeah, it is.
You bring him up, but honestly, you guys could have just brought up Emperor Velos, because at the end of the day, comparing them, those are two. That guy's evil. Obviously, you had a lot of reasons not to like him. But as you learned his backstory and what made him into who he is, you slowly start to feel some sympathy for him, because he got put in a terrible situation and just wanted to save himself at the cost of everyone around him, right? It was like, you can understand why he was doing what he was doing, even if you don't like it, because he was clearly pure evil. But it wasn't that, but he wasn't doing it like Sasha. He wasn't doing it just for the fun of it. He was doing it because he was like, I look like a monster now, and I don't want to look like this. You know, I want to be normal again. Like, I want to. The world has like cursed me with this. I think I'm getting it right? Wasn't he? He was like, I'm cursed with this, and I want to get rid of it because I don't want.
no.
Wasn't it? I think I'm off.
Whole point a bit off. The whole point of Belos, right?
Yeah.
Is that he's delusional. He thinks he's the hero. He thinks what he's doing is the right thing. Because, because like he's religious and shit. So he's like, these people I don't like. This entire group of people I don't like. So what I'm gonna do is commit fucking genocide on them, and I'll look like a hero.
Yeah, because yes, I see what you were gonna do. He was gonna like commit the genocide, but save them from it. Wasn't that it? Right? Or
he wanted to like save his people, aka the humans, from the witches because magic bad, LGBTQ bad, get pointy ears bad. Anyways.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. My bad. I accidentally showed like, guys, I'm a fake owl house. Okay. No. I just didn't remember because let's just be real. The owl house has been like shafted so many times that I gotta rewatch it because when you have to watch like. I'm just gonna be real. When you have to wait like years in between, like it's fine to wait like 1 year between seasons, but I swear I almost thought for a second the Owl House was done for, and I would never get an ending. All right, sorry guys, I accidentally was a fake Bellows fan, but no, being real. No, I think it's just, again, I think there's ways to make villains where even if you don't like them, you can still see something within them. And, whether it's wrestling, whether it's like movies, or whether it's even like animated shows, you can always find...
Another example from the Owl House of a bad character who works, Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. Hunter is like a great character. I love Hunter, man.
Or Zuko.
Yeah, Zuko.
Yeah, or Zuko.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, I haven't watched Avatar in a year.
Yeah, Avatar. Yeah, dude, I rewatched that recently. Like, I think it was like last year. It's just great. Yeah, I mean, Sasha's basically Azula. Like, Azula. I think I said the name wrong, but it was like the sister of Zuko.
Yeah.
Oh, Azula.
Yeah, Azula. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, she is like Azula. Except even worse.
Yeah, because Azula at least could hold her own, like and actually be kind of interesting. But yeah,
it's entertaining.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it kills me though, because I mean, at this point, like, we're only an hour in, and we've said everything we possibly can. As much as I would love to like go over.
I didn't finish my point with Sasha yet.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. Go off.
It's okay. Thank you. Anyways, like I was saying, right? True Colors just killed all interest for me for Sasha because before True Colors was the Battle of the Bands episode, like we talked about. That episode, Sasha is her typical fucking manipulative, egotistical bastard, and she's just fucking fucked off between Anne and Marcy, so she can make her own band and her own song and all that shit. But then by the end, they show us the scene where she sees Marcy and Anne singing, and she's like, "Oh, I've been a really bad friend. Maybe I shouldn't be so of a fucking whore." So she just joins up with them, and it's a nice moment. You see the three of them actually getting along and singing the song. Now I was like, maybe this will create some kind of conflict with Sasha and Grime, where she'll be like, maybe I don't want to go on with this invasion. But that doesn't happen because it's Amphibia. Fuck you, man. Okay, you want deep moments with our characters? Suck our toads, bro. I'm gonna make Sasha an insufferable bitch and give her no character because, well, fuck you. Legit. Every moment you have with Sasha where she's regretting what she's doing or that she has some little guilt, it's removed, all gone, disappears. Like my fucking happiness. Like, dude, you wanna have a bad character, you wanna have this bitch being insufferable, go for it. But for fuck's sake, don't give us these moments where it seems like you're gonna do something else with her, make her like sympathetic and all that shit, because we know you're not gonna go through with it. Anyways,
I mean, it's well said. I mean, it's very well said. I ranted about Sasha. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to hold back on my rant with Sasha, but I couldn't do it. I was like, and now I'm glad you had your rant. Honestly, it's just like when we look at her too, of like, it's just like she's just so, and she's just awful. She's just one of those characters that only exist to like bring Anne some pain, and honestly, Anne's like so selfish she doesn't even see it, which is why she always welcomes her back. So I guess in a weird and sick, twisted way, this is what it is to be an Amphibia fan. It's denying every single bad thing to the point of where you have to love everything, because you're surrounded in so much filler you can't think about anything at all, which is why everybody says True Colors is great, because it took you like 20 filler episodes to get there, right? So I guess what I'm saying is basically stop coping if you're an Amphibia fan and just admit that like The Owl House is just better. Okay, the structure's better. These filler episodes should have been easily removed. And if they really wanted to do something, they should have just made this a movie. That's what they should have just did. They should have cut down the filler and just made this into a movie where True Colors is like the title of it, and they could have had an hour or 2 hours to show everything. That's what they should have did, but they didn't do it because their budget was spent on Betsy's stupid. So again, why does Betsy have a solo episode and the witch gets like a boring episode, at least where Marcy's there? That's all I'm saying. Okay, final thoughts, everyone.
Final thoughts. Amphibia season 2 rated a solid 6 out of 10. Some decent episodes. Fuck Shasha. Marcy is the best. And King Andreas is voiced by Keith David, who I love. So, I'll give a point for that. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Oh. A song, what?
My final score for Amphibia is like a 6.9 out of 10. Had some pretty good episodes, had a lot of filler episodes, had a lot of missed potential. Had Marcy though. Marcy's undoubtedly the best character in the show by a landslide. Yeah, there's a lot of missed potential, but I think it improved a lot in some areas.
So I finally found out the name of the song. It's No Big Deal. So yeah, No Big Deal, pretty good song.
All right, W. All I gotta say, I said like is what it takes to be an Amphibia fan. Now, if you guys, we tried to talk about Marcy as much as we possibly could, you know. But the problem is, and this is something they do with a lot of characters, as I mentioned before, is they give them all their big moments in season 3. So, and you know, sadly, we're stuck to this now. So there's going to be a third part. I'm sure you guys are excited for. My true final thoughts. I'd probably, now I get why you guys are giving 6s. I'd probably say 7, probably 7.5 for a lot of reasons. Now, obviously, I can complain about the filler all day, but there are some fun moments, and I think that the show overall, I mean, again, I just think the biggest issue with the show is it just doesn't know what it wants to be. I think at one point it wants to be fun and stupid, and at another points it wants to be serious, and you know, they just don't know how to mix in the good with the bad, which is really its biggest flaw, is that it just gets carried away and wanting to like give you a breather, when in reality, no. If you're gonna show me an episode of like, let me just think of one. Well, Polly gets left behind. If you're going to show me an episode like that, then the next episode should be all of them hanging out. It shouldn't be Wally or some other random pointless episode. It should be showing that these characters understand how each other feel. But final thoughts, really, in just a simple sentences. I signed up for this as an Amphibia fan. If you want to follow me for my amazing tweets, it's Funiki. I'm gonna try to make content, which is why I mentioned Heather's. I'm very lazy, so do not get your do not have any anticipations for content from me. But if you want to follow me, Funiki.
Yeah. If you want to see more of me, I make videos twice a year on internet lolcows, and I have a Twitter where I just post about wrestling. So if you into that, you can go follow me. It's Lenkle YG, and goodbye and good night, everybody.